Hello students, welcome to the model number 3, the heat treatment chapter. In that we are going to discuss about in this video continuous cooling transformation CCT curves and annealing and other types of annealing. Okay, so let us discuss about continuous cooling transformation diagram. So this this is also TTT diagram. This measures the rate of transformation at a constant temperature. So however, in certain situations, it becomes what convenient to cool the materials a certain rate rather than the cool quickly and holds it a constant temperature. So the disadvantage of this kind of TT diagram has been overcome with the CCT diagram. So they develop these CCT diagrams. Okay, so this CCT diagram record the progress of transformation with reducing the temperatures of a series of cooling effects rates. These diagrams are also used for representing the type of changes that occur when material is going to be cooled at different rates. Suppose if you take a CC diagram are produced by determining the microstructure produced in steel at various rates of cooling. For example, in this figure you can observe this is for 0.8% plain carbon steel. We are taken for the 0.8 percentage of carbon steel, and for this fast rate of cooling at 140 degrees centigrade, that is cycles per second. So from this stable austenite state, so suppose point A, from point A we can see that is point A, that is only the transformation that occurs is the form of austenite to martensite. So you can austenite to the martensite, how it is going to be changing only for the 0.8% of plain carbon steel. So and also the only transformation that occurs is from austenite to martensite by the cooling line is not passing through the area. It is indicating for the austenite or to perlite transformation. So here the martensite and perlite will be, this line is going to be called, and the temperature will be around 140 degrees centigrades per cycle. Okay, degree cycles per second it is moving, and for cooling rate of between 140 and 40 degree cycles per second, the austenite start transforming the perlite, but transformation is not completed. Okay, the remaining the austenite is going to be transferred to martensite. For a slow rate of cooling at 40 degree cycles per second, the austenite is going to be start to form perlite, and the transformation is going to be completed, resulting that in a complete perlite structure. This we can observe at this area. Okay. Okay. So let us the things. So this from this what we understood that the diagram that for 0.8 percentage carbon, the structure is going to be entirely martensite, then hence it shows the maximum hardness, and the cooling rate must be faster than 140 degrees cycles per second. So on the other hand, for the structure to be entirely perlite, the cooling rate must be approximately 40 degree cycles per second. So everything depends upon the temperature, how you are going to be the monitor. So this is about the CCT diagram. Then we will discuss about different annealing heat treatment process. So let us discuss about the heat treatment process, different heat treatment process. We have that is annealing. In that annealing, again full annealing and process annealing or subcritical annealing and spheroidizing annealing. Okay, so let us understand what are the first of all heat treatment process involved. Okay, why we have to do it. So this heat treatment is going to be a controlled heating, what we call controlled heating and cooling of metal components in order to alter the physical and chemical structures or properties without changing its shape and that is component, without changing the shape of the component. So this is why we are treating the metals and for the various properties of materials is going to depends upon the microstructure, which is going to depends, and hence by changing the microstructure the properties of the material can be changed. Okay, and this microstructure of metals may be changed due to the movement of the dislocation or increasing or decreasing of the solubility of the atoms, and increase the grain size. So this formation of new grains of similar or different types face a change in the crystal structure. Once the crystal structure is changing and other mechanism, definitely it is changing there or improve the properties. So it is an important to note that the beneficial of doing this changes, the microstructure do not actually take place during the heating process, but rather than from cooling or some quenching process from a higher temperature to a room temperature. So many of these alloys show significant improvements of their properties if the quench temperature is reduced to sub-zero level. Okay, so some of the heat treatment is going to be carried out to achieve one or more following some objectives. Okay, first one is to improve the mechanical properties like tensile strength, impact resistance, thermal resistance, and ductility, other things. Okay, and also it is increased to resistance for the metal to wear and heat or corrosion, and it produces hard surface and resistance nature. Okay, and also to improve the machinability and improve the magnetic and electric properties. So and also it relieves the internal stresses set up during the cold working or casting or some other related process. Okay, these are all about the heat treatment is going to be carried, and these are some process before understanding what we discussed. So these are one of the important process, that is annealing. So why we should understood annealing, why we have to do it, this annealing for the materials. Okay, so this annealing is nothing but is a heat treatment process in which the metal is going to be heated to a high temperature and holding or what we call soaking it there for a considerable time, and then it is going to allow to cool at room temperature at a predetermined rate. So this heating of the metals to high temperature allow the diffusion process to occur the fast. So what happens once if the temperature is going to be quenched or doing that high temperature to low temperature, it is enough to allow the desired phase transformation to occur. And this metal is going to be then cooled slowly at to room temperature to avoid distortion or what we call a wrapping of metal pieces or even cracking are caused by the stresses induced by the differential contraction due to a thermal inhomogeneities. Okay, it should be not in thermal, should due to the thermal inhomogeneities. And further purpose of why we are to doing annealing is first one is to achieve more and more objectives. First one is relieve internal stresses induced by some primary process like say rolling or forging or uneven cooling, etc. And also to improve the coreness of grains, or we call it as what we the refining of grain structures, and soften the metal, and so as improve the machinability and formability, and sometimes we call it as control magnetic properties, and to improve the ductility also. Okay, these are all about the why we should understood the full annealing, that annealing concept. Okay, so there are different types of annealing are there, that is full annealing and process annealing. Process annealing is also we call it as subcritical annealing. So that spheroidized annealing also is there. That is after the subcritical annealing, the spheroidizing annealing process will be there. So that is the very most important, and they are used in a heat treatment process. Okay, let us discuss some of the different these types of annealing discuss in detail in the next video. Thank you.